Hi guys, welcome back into my channel. I hope that you're doing really well. For those of you who are new, I'm Meg, a mindfulness coach, and I share wisdom and hope to those on a self-worth and self-love healing journey. In today's video, I'm going to share the themes I came across intuitively for October. And we are officially in Libra season, and it's all about balancing the scales and fairness. It's represented by the Justice card in the tarot. It's a reciprocal energy of sort of this giving and receiving, really finding equality and fairness. And I really like to lean into this time of the year as a mode of how to balance our personal energy stores. As we know, energy is infinite. We create it and use it. We can be fueled by and feed off of it. And on the other hand, we can at times be drained of energy. And so during this time, I think if we can do our best to find balance for the month ahead, we will be winning. So for this month, I sort of had a stream of consciousness flow of words that I just started typing, and I feel like we're channeled from the divine. But I had a sense of there really being an overarching theme of clarity that maybe where you may have been asking yourself some tough questions lately, you may start to intuitively know the answer or be inspired to take certain action. One of the main things I've realized is when we are extremely clear about our intentions to ourselves and, in the larger quantum field, it's hard not to align and bring our wishes to us sooner because our true heart's desires, beliefs, and actual action are in sync. So we start to place our energy on areas that we are hoping to improve. And as we know, where attention goes, energy flows. So I'm going to start with our first theme of 4. And it is that ruthless prioritization is needed at this time. Well, you see, when we commit to what we want, it's really scary and it feels overwhelming. Can I really do this? Our thoughts are flooded with the questions. What will people think? Will I have support? How much work is it really going to be? But wonderful things and manifestations take consistent energy and pure intentions, followed by disciplined action every single day, and how we think the thoughts that we think and do and take the actions that we do. So this is coming up strongly overall in the energy. Like, ask yourself this question, and you may want to even write this down if you want to grab a piece of paper or just type it into your notes. If you write down your intentions for this moon cycle, for example, or even big life goals, it can be big or small, that's up to you. But are you waking up every morning and asking yourself, how may I go after this goal? And what can I do today to bring myself one step closer? It's a commitment that is ruthlessly coming from our passion and what we believe in. And if we don't ourselves even believe what we want to bring about in our life, how in the world is the universe going to co-create it with us? So I hope you understand that if you have like a huge landmark of goals, if you decide to focus on one or two, it's not that you're discounting the other ones or that they're just going to fall away or that you're never going to accomplish them. I think with this energy prioritization, It's picking your pure intentions so that you can really align your days. I had a mentor once who shared, maybe just start with 2 goals, because what happens is we get overwhelmed and the to-do list is too long, and we don't have enough energy in addition to all the other responsibilities and fun that is to be had in life. So 1 is ruthless prioritization. Number 2, invite in a perspective shift. So when, I had this sort of feeling about a little bit of disappointment or frustration that kept kind of coming through as I was working on this video. And I think, and myself included, there's times where we're feeling a lot of resistance. And in the collective, it's hard to see our progress maybe right before our eyes, but how can you choose to look at something from a different viewpoint? Like, maybe something isn't flowing into your life quickly enough, or you're waiting on some news or a decision or something, but it feels like very much a lack of something's missing. But instead, within the haze of disappointment, there's always an opportunity or a door to walk through. It may not be just the one that you thought you would, but that is precisely part of this self-development journey where we become to, and this is the punchline, are you ready for it? Accept things in your life just as they are, not as we hope them to be, or we wish they were. And maybe they will be in the future, but accept the things in your life as they are today. And we put our prized wishes out there. And then the most important part of the whole law of attraction isn't just putting our desires out and then waiting or hoping and thinking it will just arrive when it arrives. It's that, similar to what Dr. Joe Dispenza says, if you're familiar with his work, if it really was the case that we just put our desires out, we'd all be rich and we'd be manifesting boatloads of money. But the part that is most important to calling in your desires is literally writing them down and then putting your energy and action behind those intentions. Again, so similar to the first point, it's coming up here again. It's like the intention setting is key for reprogramming our mind. But this makes our desires so much more tangible and real, especially in the quantum field. Like the energy can respond more quickly. But in the spirit of this perspective shift, I also would love to offer people the opportunity to be really specific in your perspective shift and also in your intention setting. Like really highlight the main things you're hoping to achieve. So for example, if you're looking for a love relationship, instead of just writing down, I want to be in love and not alone any longer, or something to that effect, right? Something along the lines of, I'm calling in my divine guided partner who's aligned for my best and highest good. And then deep dive even further into the activities and qualities that you are attracted to that you would like in this love. I mean, go for it. I've done this 10 times in my life and it gets more refined as years go by. And that's totally great because I refine as I change too. But we recognize that while not every quality will most likely be in the future partner or the future job or the future, dream home, at least prioritize the top 3. So don't think of a delay or a lack of, some huge life change as a symbol of being stagnant and not making progress, because I think that's precisely where a lot of us humans fail. We're judging ourselves so harshly, and we're all doing things every day. But I think in the spirit of what those first 2 points are, the more that you can and it's so hard because it's so personal and specific to who you are and who you are on your journey and what you're hoping for. You have to be so clear so that you carve out your path and make it clear so that it's a little bit more comfortable as you're walking forward, because you're aligned with where you want to go. Number 3, be vulnerable. Because vulnerability, my friends, is a total strength. And I think nostalgia was a theme that was coming up here. And I think that, reflecting back to the last 4 years and how time is really, truly passing us by, it's an opportunity for us to kind of leave the past behind and just, again, start over and sort of allow yourself to be in this moment again, like accepting your life as it is today and recognizing that today is a new day to infuse, new energy, childlike, playful things and time with community to fuel a feeling of being alive. Because we've had this damp cloth covering over the collective ever since the pandemic. And it's time for us to take that off and to move beyond the fear and comfort into vulnerability. Like, we as a human are ruled by a system of integrating our head versus our heart. But opening ourselves up just a little bit more to expose, our true feelings and beliefs or values creates an opening of floodgates for more people to also share and open themselves up in new ways, showering our society with so many hidden gifts amongst us all. So use this month to truly highlight who you are to yourself. And I know this might sound cheesy, but maybe even write down a few sentences for your own personal mission statement. And then allow this to be the thread that's woven into every fabric of your being and your life. So there is no such thing as right or wrong here either. We are each unique, and we express ourselves into the world in the way that feels best for us. But remember, and this is huge, you are the only one of you. There's no one else like you. You don't need to compare yourself, to feel like you're behind, to envy something that someone else has. Sure, you can be inspired and have, those that you look up to, but we are on our solo journey surrounded by many other spiritual seekers also. And the veil of vulnerability, if you will, is different for each soul, much like that of the layers in an onion, right? We're investigating new parts of ourselves, we're learning lessons, growing and changing, but all at very different times, and that is okay. And I feel another thing that was coming up with nostalgia and this whole art of, our emotional space and being vulnerable is that it feels like many are sensing distance in personal relationships or existing, circles and friends where the capacity for emotional connection has dwindled or is missing. It's feeling like things aren't flowing in that department as much. And just remember, even if something falls away or, an energy or connection, it may totally come back around. And it's simply on its own, vibrational frequency, because we are all on our own. So be in the flow of who you truly feel supported by most, people and friends and loved ones that actually listen and sympathize with your feelings, the ones that show up for you. And most importantly, people who check in. We need one another to survive, and love is the most important emotion on the planet. So by opening up yourself a little bit more, just cracking open like a window, just even a tad to get a new breeze, you may have a lasting big impact through a new connection who brings you a ton of joy. But if you're choosing to remain under the damp cloth, you're not going to feel the fresh air. And I promise you that the vulnerability will really help to set you up into communities and circles with like-minded people who you feel will be a part of your voyage go forward. Okay, guys, thanks for hanging with me so far. Here is our last theme that I came up with intuitively. These downloads were just coming at me like a freight train today. I'm sure you can probably sense it even in my voice. Like I feel very much this energy of getting things done. And I feel excited for all of us because I think it's about time. Mercury's not in retrograde. A lot of planets are direct right now. There's also, a lot of eclipses coming, which I will add in as a little note. And for those of you who know about eclipses, however, I do know that there can bring a lot of radical change. So keep that in your sort of mind that, fate intervenes and big events can come, and hopefully they will be balancing out the scales of our lives. But the fourth theme is be consistent and keep going. Like think of me as your little spiritual cheerleader right now. You got this. I know. I see you. I honor you. I know that you're working so hard on your craft, honing in on your gifts, on your voice, your job, your relationships, your life. It's a lot of balls to juggle at once, and there's things that are always up in the air. And I know that many of you are feeling a little deflated by the work ethic of, consistently delivering and showing up and doing the work and really being disciplined and not seeing the changes that match those efforts quickly enough. And it can be very hard. But this is the good old athlete in me message to you of just, you really have to keep going. You are so close. Keep those fires of your passion strong. Offer yourself even more grace. Love yourself a little bit more. And also, again, balance the energy of your work. You might need to take a break, and that's totally acceptable and needed and important to our health. This is a time where the weather patterns are changing in a lot of parts of the world and the seasons, and, it's a little colder. There's kind of this natural inkling to hunker down and maybe spend a little more time reflecting or out in nature if you're able to, but just allow yourself the time needed to, refuel your tank, so to speak, of these energy stores, because it's super important that we maintain our long-term goals and we don't burn ourselves out. So those are the 4 themes that came so strongly today for me. I am really sending a big energetic hug to each and every one of you. I know that the last few months has been a little bit more challenging energy-wise. I think there's a collective transformation, and I feel very hopeful about what it's truly lighting up in others and within ourselves as we continue to find that light within ourselves, because as we know, our higher self is full of wisdom, and y'all are smart and are doing the work. So trust that whatever is coming through is meant for you from your guides and from your higher self, and just trust that you are on the path to your best and highest good. And please, if you feel like sharing down below, go ahead and drop a comment about what you're working on or how you're feeling or just anything regarding October. I always love hearing your guys' comments. Please feel free to subscribe. I am on a mission and a purpose with my channel to inspire everyone's self-worth growth. And as always, I wish you all the best, and I will see you very soon for another video. Take care.